Insemmilkom u nilqakom għal edizzjoni speċjali tal-programm INDEPTH. Is-soltu tarawni fl-istudio tal-programm tagħna, però illum b'differenza kellna niġu f'post fejn tgħix il-persuna illi se nintervistaw. Hija intervista esklusiva diġà da Malta Independent kellu rakkont esklusiv ta' din il-persuna, però llum nixtiequ nagħmluha iktar mistoqsijiet fid-dawl ta' dak li qed iseħħ madwarna. Fil-fatt, illum f'INDEPTH għandna il-Whistleblower, il-mara Russa illi ħarġet fil-beraħ biex tagħti l-evidenza tagħha ta' dak illi rat meta hi kienet impjegat tal-Bank Pilatus. Sissa qegħdin nippruvaw nipproteġu l-identità ta' din il-persuna, però kif tafu tajjeb, din il-persuna u l-kredibilità tagħha qed tiġi attakkata kontinwament minn dawk illi huma qrib ħafna tal-gvern. Għaliex għax l-allegazzjonijiet huma serji ħafna u dawn l-allegazzjonijiet jgħidu illi Grant, waħda mill-kumpaniji ġewwa il-Panama, li nfetħet ġewwa il-Panama, mill-accountant Brian Tonna, li huwa wkoll konsulent tal-Prim Ministru, fil-fatt ingħaqad ma' kumpaniji oħrajn u issa l-allegazzjoni ta' din il-persuna ili rat dokumenti li juru illi il-persuna illi hija il-beneficjarja ta' din il-kumpanija hija mart il-Prim Ministru Michel Muscat. Nafu li għaddejja inkjesta maġisterjali dwar dan u fil-fatt ukoll saret anki x-xhieda ta' din il-persuna f'din l-inkjesta. Però aħna nixtiequ nagħmluha il-mistoqsijiet tagħna. L-intervista ħassir bl-Ingliż. Thank you very much for being on INDEPTH. May I ask you first, why are you doing all this?
By this, what do you mean? Why
are you sticking out your neck so much and coming out with this evidence that you have seen inside Pilatus Bank? What is the reason? Why are you doing all this?
First of all, I was always about to do the right thing. I was never being instructed by anyone, otherwise by my heart and by my principles. I believe I'm doing the right thing, that's why I'm doing it.
Okay, but we have heard from your evidence, even printed on the newspaper, that you had this problem with Pilatus Bank, that they did not pay your salary. Now we are seeing Pilatus Bank trying hard to show that you are not a credible person. So are you doing all this in revenge against Pilatus Bank?
No, there is no, this is not a subject of revenge, because in order to get my salary that I haven't been paid once my employment was terminated, I went to the authority, to the government authority, Department of Employment and Industrial Relationships, and I filed a proper claim. So I wasn't trying to blackmail the bank and telling them, look, I know all this thing about you, so you better pay me. No, I tried to proceed a proper way. I was filing a claim. I was contacting ETC, in Employment Training Corporation as well. So this is not connected with my wish to harm the bank.
Okay, so all this time, where you were waiting for justice to be made with you and that you receive your salary and all that, all this time you knew that something was very wrong with this bank? Even when you were working there, you felt that something is wrong with the bank?
Yes, definitely. I noticed some movements and actions that were happening in the bank, which, to my knowledge, were, to my, as far as I could understand, they were not very normal for a financial institution. But the thing is, by the time I was working in the bank, I wasn't really trained on some EML and compliance procedures. I got recently certified. Last February, I got my AML certification. Now I'm certified money laundering reporting officer. So only recently I realized what was exactly going on in the bank.
So how did you know of the names that you claim that are on those documents? Because you are foreign. How long have you been in Malta?
Now a year and a few months, yeah.
So in a year and 2 months, how do you know who is Michel Muscat? How do you know who is Brian Tonna? How do you know these people? How come you realized immediately that something is wrong with this company, eGrant?
No, by the time I was working in the bank, I didn't realize what's something wrong because that was one of the companies which giving a special attention to. So that's why I was remembering it. It was way after I realized what the connections between. But for the purposes of ongoing inquiry, I would like to not comment on my evidence given regarding eGrant because it will affect inquiry.
Well, this is all information that has come out now already in the papers and on Daphne Caruana Galizia's blog, who is the person who we need to thank because she brought you forward when you spoke to her. So I think the Maltese people now need to be reassured that whatever you are saying, as we read in the blog, you also have evidence, you also have the copies, right? That's what we read in the blog.
The thing is that the magistrate forbid me to comment on the public. All what I have and all what I saw, I already told to the magistrate. Okay. So it's up to them now to complete the inquiry.
Yes, and we understand that you also showed him the evidence. That's why, and I will not ask you what you said inside the inquiry, as you are saying, but we do understand that for the magistrate to be able to work on what you told him, you had to show him the things that you say you have, that we read in the papers that you have.
I told him everything, I told him everything I knew about the case. The inquiry was 3 hours, so I have been asked in detail, and I told everything I knew. So probably he has something to work on now.
Exactly, because you have the scanned copies on which you have put on the cloud. This we read in the paper.
Yes, but on this I cannot comment.
Okay, fine. You said that these people, these politically exposed persons, were given special treatment at the bank.
The companies.
The companies.
Some companies, yeah.
Okay, so this means that when you were at the bank, you also saw important people coming into the bank and going out of the bank? People you mentioned like Keith Schembri, who is the chief of staff, or Konrad Mitzid, who is the minister for energy?
No, I didn't see those persons that you are mentioning. The only person I saw for sure was Brian Tonna. Okay. He was coming quite often, but myself, I never saw another person's politicians coming to the bank. Okay, by the time when I was working there, I didn't know them in faces, but I cannot recall, now that I saw the photos, I cannot recall them coming to the bank.
Okay, but Brian Tonna came frequently?
Yes, he was quite frequent visitor there.
And did you ever meet him and speak to him?
Yes, because I was assistant to the chairman and he was meeting chairman mostly. So it was my job to welcome him and accompany him to the conference room, offering him drinks while he was waiting for the chairman.
Okay, and he was handling all these companies, including eGrant, obviously, because
his company was, as I understood, they were acting as intermediary, as a services provider between the bank and the client, yeah.
But Brian Tonna is saying that you are not saying the truth, because he said that he has a certificate that eGrant is actually his, that he is the beneficiary owner. On the other hand, what you've seen is that on the documents there was written the name of Michel Muscat.
The thing is that you should really know Panama law to understand how is it working, how is the ownership is assigned to the actual owner. Yes, he can present certificates that he is a beneficial, he is the owner, but at the same time he can be nominee as a corporate services provider. So he can be partial owner. He can hold a share, a benefit of the company on behalf of someone else. So I cannot comment on the papers he had shown because I am not a specialist. I know some things about the law, but I'm not a specialist. It's up to the police to investigate, to see the Panama law, to read the actual articles, and to make a conclusion if it's false or not.
Okay, but Daphne Caruana Galizia says, she wrote it, that what you saw was the paper, and in it there was the name of Michelle Muscat, and you realized this is the wife of the Prime Minister. Do you confirm what Daphne Caruana Galizia said?
The thing is, when I was giving evidence to the magistrate, he told me that he is exempting me from non-disclosure agreement which I have with the bank only for this particular inquiry. So he said, I am not allowed to comment what I saw and what myself, like in person.
But this already came out. This is why I'm telling
Yes,
you.
but he told me if I will be commenting and confirming or refusing something, I may be arrested on the base of this. So I was already arrested one time. I don't want to have this experience again. Yeah.
Tell me about this arrest that you had one time, because it came out in the Malta Independent that your passport was taken, and people have reacted that why not take her passport if she did something wrong according to the bank. So what happened in that incident?
Yes, first of all, my Russian passports are not even mine. It's the property of Russian Federation. So no country has a right to confiscate a property of another country. So they are not my personal belongings. And my embassy has filed like 3 or 4 complaints in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The ambassador of Malta was invited to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Russia, and he was being asked about the situation. I was talking to the consular of Russian embassy, and they told me they are trying to protest this because it's totally illegal. But Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Malta simply doesn't answer. They are ignoring the letter from the Russian embassy. So I was told by a Russian ambassador, it's not my idea, that Russian passports cannot be confiscated.
And you're still without a passport?
I'm still without a passport, yeah.
Okay. The bank now is showing CCTV footage of you receiving money in an envelope. Why were you receiving that money, and why do you think the bank is showing this footage about you?
Yes, I can recall it because in my responsibilities, it was first I was responsible for supply. So accountant of the bank, she was giving me some cash to pay for suppliers, for example, for water, for some kitchen stuff. And I was asked many times to go to and pay car fines for the chairman, because he has a car on the name of his wife here in Malta, and he had a lot of fines, like parking in an improper place or leaving a car on the middle of the road. So she was giving me cash, and I was going to Slima Council, and I was paying those fines.
And you received a receipt for
Yes,
those?
of course, but receipt I was always giving to accountant back as a proof that I used the money. And another thing, bank was asking me several times to go and deliver in envelopes to some clients which were staying in the hotels here in Malta. So they were giving me an envelope, and they were giving me a name, and they were telling me, look, go to this hotel, this is a client, and just give him an envelope.
But if this bank works in such unorthodox ways, why would it trust a new employee like you with all of this, with the envelopes, with the money? You say at one point that you were asked to go, you were given the key for the safe, you were asked to go in the kitchen where there was the safe, and you opened it and you saw the documents. Why would they trust you so much if you had only worked there for a couple of months?
As far as I know, very few employees in the bank, they are working for a long time. All the employees, they could stay not longer than 3-4 months there. and after, or they have been fired or they resigned themselves. So probably the bank didn't have a time to test me if I can be trusted. They wanted to the work to be done, because by the time all those was happening, one employee has resigned, another one has been fired. So the bank had not enough employees.
Are these Maltese or foreign employees?
Foreign.
Never Maltese?
Who was resigned or fired?
Yes.
No, in my knowledge, I know only about foreign.
Okay. Something else which people are asking is, how is it that there was a safe in the kitchen? Is it true? Was there a safe in the kitchen?
Yes, it was in the kitchen.
And why is that?
I don't know. I haven't been told why it's in the kitchen. We were doing a lot of construction works. We were rearranging the seats like a couple of times. So maybe they didn't have another place to put it. I don't know.
Okay. Amongst the clients of the bank, we have read that there are also the family of the Azerbaijani president. Have you seen the accounts of these people? Are they clients of the bank?
Yes, I have seen.
And this is the movement that you've seen of the daughter of the president of Azerbaijan, where there was movement of funds from her account into the other account, eGrant. This is what you told.
I saw movements from her account to other accounts, but again, for the inquiry purposes, I cannot declare to which company.
I understand that, but on the other hand, you also need to keep in mind that whatever I'm asking you, it already came out in the media, and it came out, you said it, because it was in the account that was published.
Yes, but the magistrate has binded me, and he had that I will definitely be arrested and I will have a problem, so I don't want to have this problem.
So I do not want to ask you what you said inside the inquiry, because I understand that the magistrate precluded you from saying what you said inside the inquiry. Whatever you said before has come out before. But the only thing that we need to know, to believe, is whether it is true that you took copies of the documents that you saw. Just to tell me if it's true or not true, because this is a big question all the Maltese people are asking. Everyone is saying the whistleblower is just saying what she saw, but she doesn't have any verification. So only this we need to know. Is it true that you do have copies?
I can say that copies exist. This is the only thing that I can say. To not put myself in a trouble with the police and the magistrate. I can say that those copies mentioned by Daphne Caruana Galizia, they exist. So for now, this is all what I can say.
Okay. Were you approached by anyone when all this saga came out and a lot of the labor media was tarnishing your credibility? Were you approached by anyone to stop talking? Were you offered anything?
No, I haven't.
You were not?
No, nobody offered me remuneration to not speak.
Or to speak? Were you offered?
No.
Were you offered?
No, I haven't received any offer, any kind of offer for remuneration to speak or not to speak.
Okay, what are your future plans now? And we'll come to a wrap. What are your future plans? Because you are in a bit suspended here. You don't have a passport, you cannot travel. On the other hand, you are most probably, even though people don't know your face, you're the most popular woman in Malta right now, because everyone is talking about what you said. So what are your future plans?
There are two pending courts, one Department of Industry and Employment Relationship against the bank for my unpaid wages, and another bank against me for a false claim for unpaid wages and booking tickets for the business trip without permission, as they said.
But you do understand that what you revealed is far more serious and far more important than your salary, whether you get your salary or not.
Yes, I understand, but I am just a witness. I mean, I said what I had to say. If magistrate will want to talk to me again and get some more details, of course, I will go and I will say anything he will ask. It's not up to me, it's a police investigation. As me and as Daphne, we are just giving what we know and what we saw.
So basically, had they paid you the salary,
No.
no, had they paid you the salary, if they gave you the salary when they had to give you the salary, you wouldn't have spoken up. We wouldn't know all this. Is that right?
If when I left the bank,
They gave you the salary?
yes, they had a proper, payroll, and they had paid everything. I don't know what would I do, because by the time I left the bank, I didn't know about all this. Okay, I heard something about Panama scandals, of course, but I didn't have a plan. What will I do? And I had never intention to blackmail someone. I was binded by confidentiality, and still, till recently, I was respecting this non-disclosure agreement. I never said anything to anyone.
Okay. Can I ask you about your family? How are they getting along with this saga? Are you afraid?
No, I'm not afraid. I'm Russian, never afraid.
Okay. And do you still go out and go places normally?
Yes, of course. I'm going to places, and I'm only afraid of the God. Nobody else can make me scared.
Why do you think the Prime Minister is taking the side of the bank in all this?
Yes, this is quite surprising for me, because as a politician of a high rank, he should stay neutral. I mean, he should not intervene in my case with the bank. There is a court. There is a pending court, so it's up to court to decide who is right.
But he's defending himself because you're saying that he and his wife are entitled to the company, to eGrant. So he's defending himself.
Yes, but I'm not his enemy. I told something that I saw. So I told it to the magistrate. And I never met Prime Minister. I never had, he's not my enemy, and I hope he will never be my enemy. So I don't have intention to harm him.
But you can put him down with your evidence.
Yes, but it's not my intention. I just told the police and the authorities what I saw, and it's up to them. Maybe they will say, no, it's not enough. It's your evidence does not have a base or something. So I'm not putting it against Prime Minister. I'm not even a Maltese. I don't have any political interest in this country.
Thank you very much for speaking to INDEPTH. Aħna nifqu għawek, pero nfakkar li l-istadina tagħna lill-Prim Ministru biex jiġi fuq dan il-programm tibqa' dejjem miftuħa. Diġà konna stedinja qabel ma nqala dan kollu, issa nerġgħu nestendu l-istadina tagħna biex jiġi fuq INDEPTH. Nirringrazzjakom.